I was caring for my sick mother while raising our kids. My husband said, if you really loved me, you'd stop prioritizing everyone else over me. I was spending every spare minute taking care of my sick mother in our home, still making sure the kids were fed and the house was clean. Then my husband looked me in the eye and said, I'm done living like a guest in my own house. If you really loved me, you'd stop prioritizing everyone else over me. My mother was diagnosed with stage 3 colon cancer last March. She'd been living alone since my dad passed 5 years ago. When the diagnosis came, there was no question. She was moving in with us. My husband Ryan and I had been married 9 years. 2 kids, Nora who's 8 and Jack who's 5. We have a 3-bedroom house. The 3rd bedroom was Ryan's office. He worked from home twice a week. When I told him my mom needed to move in, he said fine, but his voice said otherwise. I turned his office into my mom's room. He moved his desk into the corner of our bedroom. That was the first crack. My mom started chemo right away. It hit her hard. She was sick constantly, barely eating, confused some days. I'd wake up at 5 to make breakfast for the kids, pack lunches, get them to school, then come back and take care of mom, drive her to appointments, sit with her during treatments, make meals she couldn't keep down. I was running the house and running a hospital at the same time. Ryan didn't help. He wasn't mean about it. He just wasn't there. He'd come home from work, go to the bedroom, close the door, and watch TV. He stopped eating dinner with us because he said the smell of my mom's medication made him lose his appetite. He stopped playing with the kids after school. He stopped touching me because I was always tired or smelling like disinfectant. One night I asked him to sit with mom for an hour so I could take Nora to her school concert. He sighed like I'd asked him to run a marathon. She just stares at the ceiling. What am I supposed to do? Just be there in case she needs something. He sat with her. When I got back, he was in the bedroom with the door closed. Mom was calling out for water and nobody came. 3 months in, I was exhausted. I'd lost 15 pounds. I was barely sleeping. I cried in the car every morning after school drop-off because it was the only place nobody needed me. Ryan noticed, but not in the way I needed. He came home one Thursday and sat down at the kitchen table while I was making soup for mom and helping Jack with homework at the same time. He crossed his arms and said, we need to talk. I didn't stop stirring. About what? About the fact that I feel like I don't exist in this house anymore. I put the spoon down. What do you mean? He said I hadn't asked him about his day in weeks. He said we hadn't been out in months. He said the house revolved around my mother and the kids and he was just a body paying half the mortgage. I looked at him. Ryan, my mom has cancer. She's in the next room right now, too weak to walk to the bathroom by herself. I know, and I'm sorry, but I'm your husband. You chose me. And I feel like if you really loved me, you'd stop prioritizing everyone else over me. I stared at him. My son was sitting 3 feet away coloring a worksheet. My mother was coughing in the next room. And my husband was telling me I didn't love him enough because I was keeping everyone alive. I didn't yell. I said, what have you done? He blinked. What? What have you done to help? You come home and close the door. You haven't cooked a meal in 3 months. You haven't given the kids a bath. You haven't driven mom to a single appointment. You haven't held my hand once through any of this. And you're telling me I don't love you enough? He opened his mouth. I kept going. I am running on nothing. I am taking care of your children, cleaning your house, and keeping my mother alive. And you come in here and make yourself the victim because I didn't ask about your Tuesday? He stood up. You're twisting what I said. No, I'm repeating it. You said if I loved you, I'd stop prioritizing everyone else. Everyone else is your kids and my dying mother. Think about what you just asked me to do. He left the kitchen. He slept on the couch that night. The next few weeks were cold. He started coming home later. I kept doing what I'd been doing because the kids still needed lunches and mom still needed medication at 7 a.m. Then one Sunday, mom had a bad day. She couldn't keep anything down. She was crying from the pain. I sat on the floor next to her bed holding a bucket and rubbing her back. Nora came in and sat on the other side. She held grandma's hand and said, it's okay, grandma. We're here. Ryan walked past the door. He looked in, saw all 3 of us, and for the first time in months, something on his face changed. He went to the kitchen and came back with a glass of water and a cold washcloth. He put the cloth on mom's forehead and said, I'm sorry. I didn't ask what he was sorry for. He started showing up after that. Not perfectly. But he drove mom to chemo the following week. He made dinner twice. He read Jack a bedtime story without being asked. We're not fixed. We're still figuring it out. Mom's in remission now. Ryan and I started seeing a counselor, but I'll never forget what he said that night in the kitchen because it showed me exactly how alone I was, even inside my own marriage.